Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boys, From Reactions here, back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about Leafs rumors, Leafs news, and everything that has to do with the Leafs. So let's get right into it.
Here we go.
So,
we're talking about everything before the draft. This is news as of Wednesday, June 26th. As far as we know, so far we've seen that Linus Ullmark
was not on play.
No.
Was never in play for the Toronto Maple Leafs because he had him on their no trade list. So that put an end to Linus Ullmark coming to Toronto. Then free agent Marc Giordano and his agent says Giordano plans to play next season.
So he's not retiring like we thought.
So I have no clue where he's gonna play, but he ain't gonna play for the Leafs.
I don't think they're gonna. I don't mean to be a bad guy by saying waste, but he never ended up playing at the end of the season and in the playoffs, other than taking warm up for Game 6.
Marc Giordano is most likely leaving, going somewhere else.
We can use that $1 million cap somewhere else.
Jacob Markstrom.
Yeah,
so Jacob Markstrom.
They offered a first rounder for Markstrom and a similar deal, so we almost got him.
But due to politics, the Leafs offer had to have been way much better than everybody else. So to get a deal done, so they had to be much better than everybody else. Then the coaching staff the coaching staff is complete for the next season because they hired the long-rumored, long-intended playoff power play coach Marc Savard as an assistant coach to run the power play.
And he's replacing Guy Boucher.
Guy Boucher. So they made a decision with Guy Boucher. And they decided it's best to part ways with Guy Boucher, and they released him, wished him the best in their future endeavors.
Our power play was atrocious at the end of the year, so.
And now the 2024 coaching staff is now complete with head coach Craig Berube, associate coach Lane Lambert, assistant coaches Marc Savard and Mike Van Ryn, and goaltending coach Curtis Sanford. Now, there was rumblings of what's going to happen with the video coaches, the analyst coaches, what is going to happen with them. Everything stays in place. Jordan Bean stays where he is. Sam Kim stays where he is. And Dante Abercrombie stays where he is. Everything with the video coaches, the statistical analysts, video coordinators, everything stays in place, which I'm proud of. Because Sam Kim is one of the great video coaching coordinators ever in coaching history.
Now, some things about Marc Savard, they said how he has a very offensive mind. He likes, in his mind, 2 seconds is an eternity. So when you're running the power play, he does not like to pass it back to the point and take slaps from the point with your D-man, which is what we've always done. He wants to pass it around, get it to the net as quick as possible, quick passes, and just get in those high danger areas. That's what he likes. He also on the rush. He likes to go on the rush. Very offensive mind. So I think this is going to be good because we have an offensive team. We have offensive players that can benefit from this.
Now here's what I am most Leaf fans are scared of.
Yes.
Marc Savard in his tenure as Calgary wasn't very good. They were dead last in their power play percentage. They were dead last in every category in the power play. And that's what most Leafs fans are scared of. The power play did not work under Calgary Flames.
I'm just hoping it's because of the players. But
the thing is, in St. Louis, in the 1920 season, he was top. He was running the power play in the 2019-2020 season with Craig Berube, and he succeeded tremendously. He was first in every category, first defensive penalty kills, power plays. He was the greatest power play coach in St. Louis in the 2019-2020 season. Good. So that points to a good direction, and hopefully that will bring out. So then we got some news that Joseph Woll is being extended 3 years worth $3.5 to $4 million AAV. The deal will kick in on the 2025-2026 season, but many people are scared that the term is way too long. I say it's just right for your starting goaltender.
Yep.
And at $3.54 million, where do I sign the dotted line? I want to sign that quick to lock up our future starting goaltender for the Toronto Maple Leafs. This guy,
reported by Kevin Weeks.
This guy outperformed Linus Ullmark, Jeremy Swayman in his time when he was behind the net. I'm so mad he went for that goal, went to save that goal that was meaningless because they were up 2-0, went to go save it, broke his leg, sprained it, and was out for Game 7. I was so angry because we went to the tailgate for Game 7, hoping to God.
Finding this out literally at warm-ups on the subway. We're like, who the hell is starting tonight? And then we find out Samsonov is going to be...
I thought it was a ploy. No. I thought it was a play. I thought it was just like playing around, messing with the Bruins' head because we were all in them. But no, it wasn't. And unfortunately, Joseph Woll was injured. I couldn't play Game 7.
But hopefully that works out better next season. Let's move past it. The contract won't be announced until July 1st because he can't sign yet until July 1st. So preseason has been announced, 2024-2025 preseason schedule. It's down from 8 games to 6 games, which is like.
Fantastic.
Honestly, it could be 4 and I'd be happy with that because preseason drags on too long if you ask me. But here's the schedule.
September 22nd, we take on the Ottawa Senators at home. The first time Craig Berube is seen behind the bench. Let's go, Craig Berube. I'm cheering for Berube. He was my #1 target other than Rod Brind'Amour. Rod the Bod would have been my first target.
But he stays in Carolina.
But he stays in Carolina, and it was a good choice to sign good old Craig Berube. Fire Sheldon Keefe and let the Devils mess with them a little. And now, let's go. We got our top target.
The schedule this year is going to be very organized. It's basically 3 home and homes with Ottawa, Montreal, and Detroit.
So then we play the Ottawa again at their house, September 24th at 7 p.m. Puck drop, both at 7 p.m. Then we take a day off. Then we go back on the ice versus Montreal, September 26th at home. 7 p.m. puck drop again.
All 7 p.m.
All 7 p.m. Then September 28th in Montreal at 7 p.m. obviously.
And
then October 3rd in Detroit, 7 p.m. Then October 5th, the final preseason game for the preseason. We are at home, finishing the preseason at home on October 5th.
Now, we don't have any regular season schedule yet. That's yet to be announced. But last year it got announced around the time just before free agency. So I assume that we're close. Maybe with the season ending late this year, they might wait some time because they're dealing with other stuff. But I'm sure it'll come.
Then let's go to rumor mill. So Frank Saravelli.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to take this with a grain of salt.
There's conflicting reports here.
Because Paul Bissonnette, a great guy. I love the guy. He also broke the news of Mike Babcock leaving and the Mike Babcock stuff, which is very despicable. But then he broke this. He said that Toronto Maple Leafs and Mitch Marner are working on an extension.
Yeah. What?
Okay?
Excuse me?
Then we got this report conflicting this whole thing with Paul Bissonnette by Frank Saravelli. I think the Toronto Maple Leafs are going to try to do everything in their power to try to make something happen. And he said the Leafs have no interest in extending Mitch Marner. What's going on?
And if a trade were to happen, it would happen likely this week, the week of the draft and free agency.
I have no clue what's going to happen.
And it makes sense because if you're going to trade the guy, let's say free agency passes and he's still on the team, you bet your ass he's going to be on the team for the last year of his contract. I don't see him being traded in the offseason because You want to trade him before our free agency, so then you have cap to play with and you know what you're dealing with. Let's say you trade him, you get a defenseman, a forward, and a goalie or whatever. Then you know, okay, now I don't have to go to get a goalie or another defenseman or another high-end forward or high-end defenseman or whatever because you got it in the trade with Marner. You need to know what you're going to get with Marner so then you can figure out your free agency situation. So that's why I feel like, and Brad has a history of trading at the NHL draft as well.
So we'll see.
So, and apparently they tried to trade the first-round pick for Jacob Markstrom, so who knows if they
We'll see. We'll see what will happen. But here's another tidbit. Max Domi and Tyler Bertuzzi, with a couple days out of the free agency. They don't have an extension. Nobody's extended yet. So we'll see what's going on.
So per Jonas Siegel, James Myrtle, some rumblings.
There were runner-ups, of course, for Markstrom. Their first-round pick was a part of the offer. Tanev is the Leafs' top choice for defenseman.
Okay.
The Leafs are interested in Raw, despite the $6 million AAV.
I think they're talking about Matt Roy.
Matt Raw
from LA Kings.
Yeah. Then Leafs like Perron, Joshua, and DeBrusk.
DeBrusk, the famous Leafs killer, has a mutual interest with the Leafs.
So we'll see what...
Wow, that's a shocker.
Now, Bertuzzi and Domi, with each day going on...
It's getting more and more unlikely.
It's getting more and more likely that they're going to head to the market on Monday. So we'll see what's going on. Then he also said that nothing new on Marner. We already heard most of the stuff. But they said the main challenge is the lack of teams he would accept the trade to. That would also accommodate his cap hit for next season. And is willing to send back some pieces the Leafs want, which is ideally is an impact D.
Basically what I am understanding from that is he's being picky about where he wants to go. I mean, he has a no-move clause, so he has the right to be picky if he wants to. But that's also making it difficult for Brad, because if Brad wants to trade with, let's say, Team A, and Team A has really good players that they're offering, and they will take Marner, but Marner has no interest in playing there, it ain't gonna happen, because Marner gets the final say. He gets to control the situation with that stupid no-move clause that he has.
That was not in play last year on July 1st when they kicked in. That was not in play before then, which Brad Treliving had the authority to do, but then he said, let's run it back because I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Great job!
Because it's my first year on the job, it's my first couple of weeks, and I don't know what the hell this team is, so we're going to go in with another year and see what's going to happen, and the same thing happened, first round exit.
What else is new? And the other thing that's been announced today is the new Fanatics Authentic Pro.
New threads.
New jerseys. Now the Leafs are going to be going with the same threads. They're going to be cut, stitched, and assembled in Canadian factories. They're going to be sent down and stitched and whatever, and they're going to have elevated fabrics, and you're going to see the Fanatics logo instead of the Adidas logo on the back, and they're going to be offering the new authentic outfitter of the NHL. Fanatics is offering the exact jersey worn on ice to fans for the first time in a decade. And I don't know what they mean by that. I think they mean that they're the ones offering the authentic jerseys for the first time in over a decade, because we've always been able to buy authentic jerseys from Adidas. It's always been a thing.
But it's not worn on ice, so we'll see.
So I don't know what that means, but they're going to look the same. They're still going to be $300. They're just going to be made by Fanatics now.
This man right here is going to lead the Toronto Maple Leafs to the Stanley Cup. Craig Berube. I'm excited. Day one of the preseason is coming. We'll see what's going on.
I'm scared with Bertuzzi-Domi situation, but if I had to choose one, it's going to have to be number 11, Max Domi, because that guy had passion through the roof, and he was passing so great, working on line with Matthews, and he was dependable on any line. So, like,
we'll see what's going on.
If Brad fumbles, I'm going to be so upset. Brad is, I don't know. He better have the right replacements then if
Let's hope.
They walk. The only reason they would be walking is not because they don't want him back, is because of term and the price. Probably because of term, because these players want a lot of term, and Brad doesn't want to give up a lot of terms.
So we'll see what the Leafs have in store for the for the Leafs fans.
They're
Craig
walking
Berube
into next season with
$19 million projected in cap space.
19.7 million.
So $88 million is the limit.
Yep.
We're at 68 million.
We have a first round, a fourth round, 3 fifth rounders, and 2 seventh rounder draft picks. And who knows if we trade up, trade down, trade around, trade, I don't know what trade. We're going to be here for news. Whatever happens, happens. We'll see you next week for some breaking Leaf signings and news. I can't wait to see how this team looks like for September.
Let's go.
Peace.